Hi there, everybody, and welcome back to the 22 monthly series, the Kittencast. Thought we'd never be back, but here we are. Hi, I'm A-Dylite.
And I'm MeowingKitty.
And welcome back to the Kittencast. It has been quite a while, but we're back to spread even more positive vibes. And Kitty, I have one question for you. How have you been?
Well, life's been lifing and keeping me busy. But that's how things go. How's it going, friends? As you know, Dill has started his college adventures. Is there anything that you want to share? Any experiences from that, Dill?
It sucks, to be quite honest. It wasn't like the
Oh
greatest experience, but I managed, and somehow I'm here. I don't know how, but the only thing I can think of is that things were like really good back when I was a senior, and then when we got to college, it was like, "Bah." It was just
no! Yeah,
no good at
it's
all. Like,
a little different.
yeah,
A
like,
little.
pretty much when I was in high school, I would always hear the same thing from guidance counselors. The college experience is the greatest thing ever. You're gonna have a great time. It's not gonna be easy, but I know you guys have what it takes. No. I mean, it's not that like college was like completely terrible. It's not that it like completely sucked, but there were just more negatives than positives, pretty much. Because I went into the year, started my first day with a friend from high school, and it it started out okay, only except that I had to wake up at like 6:30 in the morning,
Oh,
and
too early.
I am not making that mistake this year. I was just having a rough time, and since I was getting like so disconnected from IRL friends, I just ended up getting more and more depressed, I feel like. And there were just other aspects like how difficult like things were starting to get with like classes, and all of a sudden the fact that like as soon as you're 18 and as soon as you graduate, it's like boom, we're gonna treat you like a fully grown adult now. Loans, payment, and other things. It's like it's like stuff that I can't even comprehend at first. Like I need more time to even think about these kinds of things. And it's not like something that I can manage on my own. I mean, think about it. I'm just someone with lots of social anxiety and someone that just needs time to like process these things, and to suddenly jump right into that right after graduation was kind of rough for me. Um,
Yeah, it's
and
definitely a drastic change.
yeah, like it by the time it hit December, I had unfortunately failed at all of my classes at first. And it's hard to admit, but that really was what happened. And there were things that helped me through that, which I will get to later on, but I'll reference now, like the fact that I became an uncle, and the fact that as soon as the semester ended, I got to go to California and see my nephew for the first time, and also being able to reconnect in some way with online friends. And I was slowly easing myself back into a groove. And by the time I got to the spring semester, while I still had a difficult time, I had a much better time.
You almost need like that reboot and recharge to like get yourself back into it mentally.
I started out on a good path because the classes I was taking, for example, was like basically like the speech class, or you could see it as public speaking, where you're basically just talking like in front of a group. Like you read a script, and then you're just like, hi, whatever, I'm here to talk about this or something like that. And that thing kind of helped me. And there are more and more things that, while I was just not feeling well, helped me like um get out of that dark hole. Like in that dark hole, I was rarely screaming, I just wasn't feeling well, but there were like all sorts of crazy things that really helped me escape that, because my biggest issue was I was having trouble feeling loved and feeling important, and every aspect about real life was making me feel like a failure, and I don't want to display that as a creator. I don't want to display myself as just this fading person like on camera. So that's why I basically didn't really stream that much, and streamed when I needed to, or like for like a monthly series or something like that. And thankfully I finally got into that groove at the end of the spring, because while I was having a tough time with one of my classes, things eventually got better, and
That's good.
I was finally able to stream a lot more often. Like very often to the point that I rarely canceled. I don't even know how it happened. Like it's a miracle to me the fact that I like rarely streamed. It's like I went from like not streaming at all to streaming super often, and I'm grateful that I got back into that groove. But at the same time, I still wasn't feeling the same. Um, I eventually was taking like summer classes as well, and that was definitely rough. Those didn't go so well. It was a very similar experience in the fall, only this time I wasn't as depressed. It was just more just overwhelming and stressful. But there were things that helped me.
Right.
Through that class that I mentioned, I was able to go to my high school and actually speak in front of a class and actually talk about my story. And after going through something similar as a senior and actually talking about that, um, I was able to really step out of my shell and really show who I was. And like people were genuinely interested. People were asking questions. People wanted to play a game with me after I was done talking. Someone I remember had so many questions that they just that the teacher was just like, "How about I mention at the end?" or something like that. And they asked even
Yeah.
more like that definitely made me feel pretty valued, and I'm glad that I was able to help others. Like more than me feeling happy. What made me feel the happiest was just um being able to inspire others to achieve their own
Yeah,
goals.
I can imagine that being extremely motivational for them, but also, like, the takeaway for you is being motivational for you as well, is, like, it gives you that boost that you almost needed in that time, so I feel like the timing of it was perfect for you.
Right. As if that wasn't insane enough for me, a couple weeks later, I get back from like this difficult like algebra class and I was just not feeling good. I get in the car and my dad hands me an envelope and I'm like, what could this possibly be? I open it and it's like, oh wait, I remember my teacher asking me, what is my address? Then I check and there's this envelope that I open and I open up a card that says, thank you, Dylan. I still have it.
Aw.
And I open it up and the teacher and like the teacher got the entire class to like write thank you messages whether they were actually there in class or they were not there. Like it just blew my mind the fact
That's amazing.
that they thought that it was so meaningful that they would make that for me. Like it just made my day like 10 times better. Like I went from like feeling absolutely terrible to like very happy, and that was really the
It
start of
kinda
something new.
Yeah, it rekindles the fire, if you will,
Mm.
to get you so, I mean, obviously, still kind of on that topic, do you feel like now you've kind of got a feel for things and you feel like you can balance that college stream, like, schedule? Because I know you said, you were missing streams and now you have streams, and I know when classes start up again, do you have, like, plans for how that's gonna work?
Honestly, it's gonna be very complicated because I have to take things a lot more seriously now. Back when was taking classes in the fall last year, I was just not in the right headspace. And I actually want to take it a bit more seriously now. And if I'm going to take it a bit more seriously, that might mean that it might affect how long I stream or when I can stream. I might have to like cancel a lot more. I may be busier. No matter what, I really just want to try my best. It's not going to be easy. I think it's going to be more of what I was going through last year, where it's like there's the college balance, where like this is college and this is streaming, and this is what's going to happen pretty much.
Right.
Like I'm streaming less, and then or vice versa. You never know. I'm hoping that it doesn't get to that point because I want college to be more a priority for me. Because that was definitely the biggest issue, was that I wasn't caring much for it because I was just feeling so out of it and so depressed. So I'm
Right.
really hoping that things will change for the better. And getting back to where what I was mentioning before about that card, like something similar would happen. After I got out of the summer classes, I did like my yearly birthday stream. For those that don't know, every July I always stream like a very long birthday stream. It's started like 2020 was a 24-hour stream, 2021 48, the year after that 100, 200, and then I broke the trend this year by going 100, which I know sounds absurd, but don't worry, I did not stay awake for 100 hours straight. It was me taking breaks over time. But imagine my surprise when I find out that someone in my community had been prepping a birthday surprise, and I hadn't. Well, I actually did kind of know about it because they were hinting it to me, but I didn't actually know
Right.
what the surprise was. And lo and behold, they asked me to react to a video on stream, and it's this birthday video of people writing all sorts of happy birthday messages, and I think that moment was what woke me up. I snapped out of it. It was like in an instant I went from like just in this like how to describe it.
It made an impact, like, it shows the impact that you've
Mhm.
made on your community, and so, a lot of times as a creator, you don't hear that feedback, you might get a comment here and there, or, I mean, I recently had something similar that I can talk about after, but just, like, for you, like you said, it was this eye-opener, like, it was like, "Oh my gosh, like, all these people came together because they care about me, and this is like really wholesome." And like this person, when they originally were watching your streams, didn't initially start off as a wholesome person. When they came to me and was like, "Hey, I want to put all these messages together for Dill." The surprise was supposed to be a little bit different. I don't want to spoil it in case they want to do it in the future. So I won't spoil that part of what it was supposed to be, but what it ended up being was still amazingly beautiful. It still had the, wow factor that it needed, and it was still very heartfelt. And so the fact that you were able to make that impact not only on this one person to change to be this wholesome person that would do something that for you, but the fact that your entire community wanted to come together and also gift this to you as, is something to inspire you to show what you're doing matters, that as you say, you matter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very true that, it does make a difference.
It really does. And honestly, that's exactly what happened. It was like in an instant I just woke up. It was like I woke up from this nightmare that I was having. And finally, my head is a lot more clear. And I'm really hoping that, again, that it's the start of something new because I want to have more of a mental reset. I've had so much trouble telling my parents that I was struggling with college. And I finally got to tell them that last week. And it was really difficult, but I'm glad that I finally got that weight off of my shoulders. They were very supportive, and now I just really want to have a mental reset. Like I want to start from zero, not in the sense that I want to take everything I have and throw it out the window, but rather I want to just clear my head and take a new path with everything that I've experienced, with everything that I have, be my all my community and just all the friends I have in real life, all the experience I have. I want that to make something new, and I'm really hoping that this next year can be a year that is like way different and way more special um, than anything that I've ever gone through.
I mean, I believe in you. You have a pretty solid foundation that you're standing on now. So I feel like while you've fallen in the beginning, you can only go up from here.
In the end, a lot has happened with me, and while it's been quite an experience, I remember that you were saying that life has been lifing for you, and I just want to know, um, while things have been pretty hectic for me, how have things been going for you?
I mean, that's the best way to describe it. To like break it down really, for those that haven't been in my community's been awesome in keeping me with the strength that I need to get through what I've been through. I went through a harsh breakup, and then I lost my job due to them automating everything. Yay, AI. If you use it, great for you, but I was laid off because of it. So I have a love-hate relationship for AI. I get that, when it's used to support, great, but when it's used to replace, that's where I have hardships with it. Um, but I'm not going to go too far into that. And on top of that, I had to move out of where I was living because, no job means no money, and I couldn't afford to live where I was living. So now I'm here. Um, but I did gain a cat. I don't know if you can see him here, little Neville. Little Neville. He's just like
He's just
he's
chilling.
like I don't know what's going on right now. But oh my gosh. So they have three cats and two dogs here, and I rent just the room. And just so it's the mother and a daughter. And the daughter's around my age. And they each have their own cats and their own dogs. Like each of them has a cat and a dog. And poor Neville is kind of like his own. He's the only man in the house, and so he never like. Of course, they love him and gave him love, but oh my gosh, ever since I moved in, he's been like sleeping in here every night. At this point, he's my cat. But since there's that, I mean, obviously, that was a start of positivity, was like moving out. Just the fact that I could find a friend of a friend that also needed help, also needed some sort of income, and was offering a price that I could afford with what I had in my savings at the time. And when you're laid off, they do give you like a severance package. So I had money from that to kind of keep me afloat. And then it's just like the nightmare of you talk about the nightmare of college. I mean, I've
Mhm.
been through that too, but the nightmare of or applying to places is just if you don't have certain skills or you don't have a lot of life experience. Because I didn't finish college, I also was very depressed. My mother had moved to Texas, and I'm on the other side of the United States. You were talking a several hour plane ride if I want to see her, and I was very close to her. So it was very hard for me in my college years, and I didn't finish. And then I had my daughter, so that was a whole nother life change. um, but not to go too much into the past, like looking into the future, I did start a new job, and I'm loving it where I am. I was there about not even a month when they came to me and said, "Hey, we want to know if you want to train for this other job to help out." And I was like, "Yeah, of course I'll help out." And I didn't like even ask any of the details. And they're like, "Okay, great. It comes with a pay raise, so we'll pay you more." And I was like, that was awesome because was already started out underpaid. Because anytime you start over like that, you don't get to carry that pay over a lot of the time unless you're very lucky. But so I was literally starting over, not like from like minimum wage, but for me it felt like that. Because I know my worth, and I know I was selling myself short, but I also knew that my personality would hopefully win through, and it did. Because like I said, I wasn't even there a month, and they're already like, "Hey, we want you in this other position helping out." So that was really cool. Like everyone there is like super nice. So I have no complaints about that. I have more hours now because of that. So it's like just very different of all the jobs that I've done. Because, I started off, I worked at JCPenney's for 9, 10 years. And then I worked for United Healthcare, so health insurance, which I learned a lot about health insurance doing that. And then I worked for a pharmacy. I was even pharmacy certified at one point, which I was super proud of. And now it's like, well, I didn't renew my certificate, and so that was all for nothing. Um, so, like, just like you think of it like it's the same as going to school. You have to study for this big, big test
Yep.
to get the certificate. And so it's just crazy to look back and be like, I did all that, and where did it get me?
Yeah.
So now I work for a dealership. I work for, I don't know if I want to out myself, but I do work for Mercedes Benz and around the area here.
Mhm.
So it's when I first started, the one of my questions during the interview was, do I have to change my hair? Because you can imagine a luxury car company has a certain look that they want to go for. And she was like, "No, you're fine the way you are." And I was like, okay, that was awesome. And I've only had like very few customers make comments about my hair. Normally it's older gentlemen, which I won't throw them under the bus. This one guy was like, oh, you can decide what color you wanted your hair to be. Like, could you imagine if someone said that to you,
Yeah,
Dill?
yeah, that'd be
So it was
crazy.
so I've only gotten like little remarks like that, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, I love your hair." Like, I wore this dress recently, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, that dress goes so great with your hair color." Um, so, anyway, sorry, I'm squirreling. You know me. But my point being is like it's definitely different than anything that I've ever done. I'm learning about cars now. Which is very interesting, like, because hear things. So I guess moral of this story is the more expensive your toys, i.e., car, more expensive the repairs. Holy heck.
Mm,
I'm just the cashier. I bring people out after they've had services done. So I'm not over in sales or anything like that.
mhm.
I'm over in the service department. Which is crazy because the sales is a completely different ball game, and I'm
Yeah,
just dabbling into like um processing like the deals because that's the other job that I'm now training for. So yeah, the position that I'm training for is under the title clerk, and so she takes the deals, which is the sale on a car, and that submits the title to the state. So that's the job that I'm kind of learning how to do. So it's very different, very interesting. And then so we'll see how things go from there. Obviously, that's affected my stream schedule as well as much as college has messed with yours. Especially like getting out at 7 at night. It's like okay, I get out and I have to figure out dinner, and then by the time I eat dinner and I'm like settled, I am just so tired. I am just like way too tired to even think about turning on my computer even. So, I'm hoping that I can kind of get that underway after I'm taking a upcoming trip. I know you guys are probably gonna be like, "Oh no, she's got another boyfriend," but he treats me good, and that's what matters to me, at least. I'm sure, my body counts 3, guys. It's not like, "Oh my gosh, I'm just hopping boyfriend to boyfriend." I've had 3 boyfriends in my life. So, with that said, I mean, he treats me very well. I'm gonna go see him, and then I'm hoping when I come back from that trip this upcoming week, I can kind of get my schedule back to something of normalcy that I don't know, even if I have to start bringing my dinner to work with me, which is an option, that's the most obvious option. People were probably thinking, if you work till 7, why aren't you like taking a dinner break? Because it's that weird 11 to 7, and I'd have to take a lunch and like a 15-minute dinner or something, Um, I do have to find out that sweet spot, but I feel like as far as the future of streams, I am hoping that they come back for me as much as they've come back for you, Dale.
as long as you're happy, that's what matters.
This is true. Yes, happiness matters.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, obviously, with that said, I am going to try to stream more frequently as well as more on a schedule of sorts. So I didn't go to the gym. I want to get back to the gym, but that's a whole nother story. As for that,
Yeah.
but how about you, Dell? What's your any big plans coming up for your stream currently?
Well, this Friday, as of the time we're recording this, it is August 18th. This
Okay.
Friday, August 23rd, I'll be celebrating my 5 year stream anniversary. By the time that you guys see this, this will have already
Fun.
happened. But I'll be I'll be celebrating that with the community, going through all sorts of things. And this was one of the announcements during that. That surprise, surprise, the Kittencast is back. Um, um, I'm really excited for how that's gonna go. I'm really excited to see how the community will react. Not just in that,
Yes.
but every other thing as well. I've really put my heart into this stream anniversary this time because normally with how every year goes, I put a lot more effort into my birthday stream than like celebrating how long I've been streaming. And this year is gonna be swapped. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be flipped. And I'm really excited for how that's gonna go down. It's gonna be the last big celebration before I go back to college for the second year, which thankfully my schedule is gonna be a lot more relaxed. I'm not waking up at 6 anymore. I think the earliest I'll
That's good.
ever
Yeah.
yeah, I think the earliest I'll ever have to wake up probably like around 9 or 10.
Okay, yeah, that's not too
So,
bad.
yeah.
That's reasonable even for you as someone that keeps late
Yeah.
hours.
Definitely. Definitely.
I mean, you do have some crazy nights where you are just I'm like wake up in the middle of the night and I'm just like, Dill's still on? I'm like, I can't tune in now. I need to go to bed. That was me last night. I was like, Dill's still on. I came home at 1 a.m. I'm like, Dill's still on. Neville left. Lost Neville.
No.
He probably went to eat dinner.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, why haven't we eaten yet? He's been in here all day. He's crazy. Like, if I'm in here, he's in here.
But if
He
you're
really is.
not there, like he's gone.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'll come home and he's like, it's hard to tell if he's in my room when I come home because when I get home, like, I have to
Mm,
set my stuff down or whatever I'm holding, and he'll come in the kitchen and
right.
wait for me at the stairs to come back to the bedroom. So I don't know if he started the bedroom. My roommate has mentioned that she like see him in there and she'd be like, "What are you doing in there? Get out!" And I was like, "Don't tell him to get out." I mean, I guess she's an old lady and she like forgets these things, but
Mm.
anyways, Neville, you squirreled us. But yeah, we were talking about just how sometimes like I'll be up in the middle of the night and I'll see like you're still up. Like I came home at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
in the morning and you were still going, and then you told me that you were streaming until 3 a.m. and I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, I have this series where I will play an entire game in one go. It happens at like specific times of each month, but sometimes the games will be incredibly short or they will be really long. So in this case, that stream was a 13-hour stream, which honestly was much more tamer than what I've had in the past. It's just I started really late. So
Fair.
that's exactly what happened. I started that stream like 2 p.m. and then that ended at 3 a.m. So yeah, that lasted quite a while, but it was a whole lot of fun.
That's good. Like you said, the most important thing is that you're having a good time, you're having fun.
Yeah.
Is a great series. I couldn't do it. I can't just it is, but it's great. Like I'll go back and watch these VODs and I'll be like, I kind of like fast forward through them a little bit because it's a long amount of time, but I
Right.
still like to see like the progression of it, like beginning to end in a
Right.
way.
Hmm.
But it is nice for those that have the time to watch the whole thing, of course.
Yeah. I am definitely grateful for everything that's happened throughout this entire summer, and I'm excited that I get to end this off with a bang because this is going to mark the end of what I like to see as a moment of in time where I've been able to clear my head. So
Yeah.
now I can finally like I think of the summer like in between the last semester and this upcoming one as just like a break to relax and just refresh. And now I feel better than ever. That does not mean that college is going to be very easy, but rather it will probably still be very difficult because college is not easy whatsoever. But
So
I
true.
want to go into this next semester a lot more prepared. So there's only 8 days until then, so I'm just gonna take the time that I have to prep as much as I can.
I mean, that makes sense. So you now have the experience to utilize the tools that you already had in a better way than you were before. So I think like going in this year is going to be a little bit differently because you have that knowledge that you didn't prior have.
Hmm.
And it's just
Exactly.
one of those things that there's no way people could tell you their stories, they could tell you their experiences, but until you experience it for yourself, there's no way that you could have been prepared for that until you experienced it for yourself.
Hmm. Definitely.
It's crazy to think, like, you said 8 days until school starts, and it's like, "Oh my gosh, like, the kids are starting school soon." So, like, it's just, this trip that we're taking, I'm taking them down to see, okay, you know, not that this is a big reveal, but I realized, like, not everyone knows. Okay, so my boyfriend is Cryptic Metaphor. He is also on Twitch. He also streams. It's funny how many people don't realize his name,
Hmm.
because they'll be like, "Oh, cryptic meta," but it's like meta and then the number 4, so no one gets that it's like metaphor. Um, but anyways,
Oh,
so
metaphor.
yeah,
I never realized that.
exactly. I'm like nobody. I feel like okay, let the world know it's metaphor, as in a metaphor, cryptic metaphor. There you have it. There you go, baby. I cleared it up for the world. Everyone knows now. Um, so, for the last kind of vacation activity, if you will, of summer, we're gonna go down to see him where he lives. If that wasn't obvious. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make that sound weird, but I'm like, I also don't want to dox the guy, right? So it's about like a 6-7 hour drive to see him from here. So I'm gonna stop off, see my sister, spend the night with her, what have you. But it will be a fun last trip for the summer. But it's crazy to think like summer's coming to an end.
Yeah, time just flies like more and more as you get older. I feel like, I mean, for me at least, because like when I was little, like time was just going by so slow for me, and then once I got older, it's like every year I'm just like blank, it's gone. The year's gone.
Gone.
Like
Where'd the
like
time
like
go?
my senior year, like one of the best moments in my life ever. It's just gone. Like time really goes by really quickly, and that's why I try my best to enjoy like those little moments while they still last, or if it's a huge moment, it doesn't matter the size, just as long as I can enjoy this period of time before things get even crazier.
Yeah, I agree. That's very important is to, as the saying goes, stop and smell the roses. You have to slow down, enjoy life, enjoy what you have in front of you now. Well, just because summer's ending doesn't mean everything's ending.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the start of things like new friendships,
Mm-hmm.
new co-streams. Dill, is that something you want to talk about?
Definitely. I mean, there have been all sorts of things that happen, and that's one of the things. The thing about online is that online friends were really the biggest thing that helped me get into the position I am today, mainly because when I like growing up, I just was alone for most of it because basically all my brothers are so much older than me. So as a result, I've always just grown up basically as an only child. So
You didn't have that like built-in friendship system that some people have, I guess, the luxury of having in your case.
right. The biggest difficulty with all of that is actually making friends in the first place, whether it's IRL or online. And after August 2021, I just had so much more trouble making new friends aside from that the moment that I got as a senior. And
Right.
earlier this month, I actually finally got to make more friends online, which definitely helped a lot since it was definitely rough since I'm anxious in both perspectives. So finally, after so long, I got to have fun experiences that I didn't get to have since like years ago. So I'm incredibly happy about that.
You seem happier too. I've
Mm-hmm.
noticed, I'm a big time lurker, everyone knows. But you see, not to
Yeah,
sound stalkerish, but you seem happier.
yeah,
It's good seeing you laugh. You have, someone to drive with on Truck Simulator, which is something I know you've always wanted.
yeah,
You get to play like those obscure Mario uh sports games with someone that not
yeah,
many people has all of those even, so that's really
yeah.
cool to see like these little niche things that you like are also things that other people like and that you can bond over, that you can have experiences with positive on both ends, but also
Hmm.
from the viewer aspect, you don't normally get this feedback, but it is fun to watch.
Yeah, and like at the end of the day, like saying all this, it's not to say that the friends I've made along the way haven't helped. Like they certainly have. It's not like any time I got to hang out with anyone else it was worthless. It was just the fact that I love all of the memories I've gotten to make and I want to make even more and grow my community even more. And by making more friends, that definitely helps. And it wasn't even just like I made one, but it was like multiple in that other community. And I'm really hoping that in this next year, alongside improving in academics, I'm just hoping that I'll be able to open up a lot more because I could open up in college, maybe make friends there, open up online, really get myself out there because that's really my goal for this next year. The mental reset is to really just be a whole new me, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. A whole new you, but with keeping the basic blueprint of who is Dill. You don't
Mm-hmm.
lose your real self in that. You're not like completely changing who you are. You will always be that person, but people do change. And, change doesn't have to be a bad thing. Change is a good thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, a lot of people fear change, but it's good that you're embracing it. You're accepting this is going to be different. This is going to be new, but it's also going to be a great experience.
Right. Kitty, we have the exact same chair. You just moved and I saw the headrest. We have the exact
He's a
same one.
GT player. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Look at
You
my
the
chair in
little footrest
comparison.
thingy. Okay. Okay.
It may not look like it, but I got like a custom one.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. And then it has this little pillow down here too.
Yeah, like I don't have the I have the pillow somewhere, but
Oh,
like the original, but it also has the same thing.
but I liked this one because it was a fabric chair and not like leather or like plasticky feel, because like my biggest like pet peeve during the summer would be like, and I'm sure like you can look back on my past streams of me literally peeling my skin off of a chair because I'm like wearing shorts and the freaking leather or whatever is like sticking to my legs, and with fabric that doesn't happen. I mean, it might not be as easy to clean if I, get food or whatever on it, but I don't normally eat in my room.
Mhm.
So you mentioned making new online friends by joining other communities. Was this communities that found you because of the longer hours that you stream? Or is it communities that you found through their stream themselves? How do you do you want to elaborate on that at all?
The way that I even got to make new friends was not actually through the long hours necessarily, but through the fact that someone happened to be searching through the same category of like the game that I was playing, and they happened to find me. And coincidences happened. It happened to be someone I knew from another friend, so
Oh wow.
I got to check them out, recognize who I was, and then boom, it kind of just happened from there.
Okay, I mean that makes sense. I mean, and then like I had mentioned previously before, like I had seen quite a bit of the American Truck Simulator stream, more than you probably ever knew that I saw. Um, that was such a long stream. Like, I can only go, like, maybe a max of 4 hours. For someone that wants to do a longer stream like what you do, what's the preparation for that?
The thing about streaming long hours is that a lot of people assume that I'm able to stream for a really long time because of how young I am. I'm a 19-year-old as of the time we're recording this. And yeah, it's true, I'm pretty young and I've still got my whole life ahead of me. But that doesn't really contribute to that necessarily because I know people that are younger than me that have trouble streaming long hours. So I know for a fact that that isn't the factor. But the way that I prepare personally, I really just like to have fun with the games that I'm playing. I'm not really forcing myself to only stream games that other people want just for the views, you know? Like I
Very important.
yeah, like I really just want to stream what I want to stream because I really just stream for the fun of it, like hanging out with friends and stuff. That especially helps a lot as well, and also just giving myself time to actually prepare for these streams in any way I can. Like when I start up streams, I typically take between 10 to 20 minutes, which I know is absurd for some people, but for me personally, I really just like to give myself time to prepare because is if you can deal with me like taking a long time to start or taking a very long break, I can stream for a very long time.
That makes sense. I mean, there's always that. I mean, even I have at least 10 to 15 minutes that I'm just sitting here with everything open. I don't think people realize the mental preparation to
Hmm.
go live, to hit that go live, unless you've done it before. Like, you could say, like, you're ready, but, like, until you've done it, like, I like breathing exercises before I go live.
Hmm.
um, so I get that, but it makes sense you saying that picking games that are what you want to play because I've noticed, like, I'm sure you've noticed, there's times where I do go over my normal limit or what I consider my limitation, and it's normally when I'm having just so much fun with a game that I don't want to stop. It's like, an addiction in a way. I know it's not healthy, but I always do make sure that I do have a cutoff alarm that's like, okay, no, Kitty, you have work in the morning. You need to cut off at this time. So,
Hmm.
like, that's my preparation is making sure I have alarms set, which I'm sure people have heard go off on stream is I have my medicine alarm and then I have my bedtime alarm. And those are my two cues of, this is when I should stop. This is when I really
Hmm.
need to stop.
Yeah. But yeah, streaming long hours is definitely not an easy task, and I remember how it started. I used to stream 5 days a week at only 3 hours. But then COVID happened, the pandemic happened, and then I kind of just got used to streaming a lot longer than I usually would. Somehow back then I streamed like 6 hours, like 5 days a week. I don't think I could
Yeah, I
ever
remember
replicate that
that.
now unless like something were to happen. But but I think I just got used to streaming for a very long time to the point that it just was natural to me. My body just adapted to just playing games and talking for that amount of time, or in some cases, just being quiet. Because I'm not talking all the time. There are times where I'm streaming where I'm just focused on the game or don't really know what to say and really just need to give myself a break. Because I think that's another thing that helps too. Because I'm not like talking all the time. You're not just gonna always see me talk. You may like tune in and see me like talking um to chat or something like that. But most of the time when you tune in, it's very chill, whether I have my webcam on or not, and I'm just focused on the game and have like very little reactions or something. And also, what helps is like having food on stream because I don't have to like end stream for dinner, for example. Just giving myself what I need to prepare. That really just helps a lot.
Right. That definitely makes sense where you even have kind of like your secondary characters or where you can kind of pop up just a little kitty and you can eat or what have you and you still have, your personality on stream without having to, have everyone seeing you put, food in your face. Which I mean, my beginning streams, I started, I had snack time on mine, and we talked about food. Foodies go. Um, But definitely I can see where those little things help. It sounds like you've built yourself up to it, much like how like a marathon runner, they don't start off running the 5K. They, build up that endurance. So for someone that would want to stream for longer periods of time, would is that a suggestion you would say to them is like, start off small and then increase little by little?
Definitely, because I have to admit, when I started streaming for a long time, I got really tired. That even like 4 or 5 hours in, like I was like, I don't know about this. This is rough. But
Yeah.
but the more I streamed that long, and the more I had fun with what I was playing, like the more time kind of just flew. And that's really what happens now. Streams will either like last a long time mentally, or they will just fly by in an instant.
That makes sense, and I feel like you have a good community that enough people come in to, keep you company. I feel like when you don't have that, it can definitely make a stream feel longer, but it doesn't have to, and that's where picking a game you enjoy come in, because I have many a silent stream, but I am having the time of my life because that is my dedicated me time. That's my really my
Mhm.
you wanna know my reason for streaming is I don't make time for myself. And that's my way of saying, this is a game I want to play. And you know what? In my mind, I'm doing it for the viewer. And so I can trick my mind into thinking I mean, I should just really do things for myself, but I can trick my mind into being like, I am providing enjoyment. I'm providing someone with a smile. Somewhere out there, someone is laughing at me, doing silly things, playing this game. They're getting enjoyment from it. And like I had mentioned earlier, we don't get that feedback a lot, but I recently did, and it made a difference for me. It made me feel validated because I felt like no one watches me. And then I had someone say to me, hey, not to out them, but like they're on this medical journey. And, they're like, when I'm in the hospital and I see your stream on, it really helps me get through what I'm going through. It really makes me smile. It makes me happy. So to have that feedback, that gives me my drive to reward myself, to play the games I want to play, to play all these cat games that I want to play that I won't make time for myself because I feel like I'm helping someone by playing this game. I can reward myself by playing this game.
That's crazy. That's my first time hearing about that personally. That's insane. Just it's crazy how just like playing a game and just being yourself can really impact someone. Like
Yes, exactly.
at first when I started streaming, for example, like my family really just saw it as me just playing games on the internet. Which yeah, that is exactly what's happening, but there's a
Yeah.
lot more to that. Like I'm actually able to be myself and open up. And I've also been able to make people smile and motivate
Yeah.
others in all sorts of ways. I know all sorts of friends that have started stream out of like being inspired by me, like whether it's the fact that I started streaming at 14 years old or the fact that I just spread all of those positive vibes. Like that's really what I've been focusing on now, and I want to focus on even more is just helping others when they need it the most, making them smile. And of course, my streams are and super advanced. Like there are all sorts of things going on there. Um,
Yeah.
and I really just want that to speak for me when I have to be quiet or like I need time to like decompress and stuff like that, like while I'm streaming. So that definitely helps a lot as well. And it's
Right.
gotten to a point where all of these things that have happened have allowed me to stream for a very, very long time. And unless I didn't get much sleep and I'm up really late and I'm tired, typically it takes until, which is gonna sound crazy, the 17-hour mark for me to start feeling tired. Like
Oh,
I
well,
can
yeah.
stream for a very long time. Like there are all sorts of comments that I've gotten from people. I'm a beast or I'm built different or something like that. But really at the end of the day, I've kind of just been myself. I've just been little old me. Like I've really just been
Yeah.
having fun. And those super long streams nowadays, it's not like they happen on accident. They happen for a reason. It could be that series I mentioned earlier. It could be the birthday stream. It could be a stream anniversary. It could be all sorts of special streams.
That's
There
true.
have been times where I accidentally play games on accident. Like one time I there was a game that just came out I ended up playing it, and then I blink, and then 17 hours passed. But
That's true. That's true. I mean, it
yeah.
can very well happen.
Hmm.
I feel like though, I do want to pause you for a moment to talk about the side effects of that though. The next day, be honest, how much do you sleep in after a really long stream?
After really long streams, it really just depends on the day. If I have to be up at a specific time, then I will set an alarm. But this is the summer. As well, it's still the summer as of the time we're recording this. So
Right.
I really pretty much just don't let myself set an alarm unless I need to. So as soon as the stream last night happened, I woke up like really late. Like when did I fall asleep? I think it was like 3:30 or 3:45 in the morning. And then I woke up at like 1:45, which is like 10 hours after.
Yeah, so I mean,
So,
you definitely needed like recovery sleep mode. Um, so I think that's something to be mindful of if someone that wants to do that stream is the planning that comes into it is, for you, your planning is it's summer. I don't have to be up. I can do this.
mhm,
Where someone would have to be like, okay, what's my schedule like the next day?
right.
Can I realistically do a stream that long? And I think in the preparation is like, building yourself up to do the long stream, but also making sure you have the recovery period as well.
Yeah, exactly. And what also helps as well because Um, even though it's the summer right now, someone might wonder, well, hey, Dill, when it's not the summer, how are you able to manage those long streams? And pretty much what helps me personally is the fact that those streams happen on days before, like the weekend. Let's just put it like
Yeah, that makes sense.
I I I have them be on a Saturday, pretty much. I try to have things start when I know I'm going to have time to relax, and that's really what helps. Even if I only have a day to decompress, it allows me to go into the following day where I actually need to be active. Like if I have classes or something, it allows me to actually reset and not break my sleep schedule or something like that. With that said, I am
Yeah,
definitely a night owl whether I'm streaming or not. It's like I blink and then in an instant it's like super late. I'll accidentally pull all
true.
nighters or something, or if it's not an all nighter, I'm just up really late at night. And honestly, I definitely want to fix my sleep schedule because I've been waking up super late, and even though I don't have to be up super early for classes coming up, I just want to be able to wake up earlier. And speaking of that, I have a
Oh
question for
yeah.
you guys. Are you an early bird or are you a night owl? How about you, Kitty?
I'm definitely team night owl. I was saying to my friend recently, I think it was like 2 nights ago, I sent her a message at 1 a.m. and is like, why do I have so much energy right now? And then I ended up, I made a new emote for my stream. So coming soon, new blessed kitty emote. Spoilers. Though maybe it will be out by then, by the time this drops. But
We'll see.
I'm definitely just I have more energy at night. I cannot wake up early. I'm not I've never been a morning person ever. I
Hmm.
don't know if that's something anyone can realistically change. I mean, it's a huge lifestyle change if you do.
Hmm.
Um but yeah, waking up is always a struggle.
Hmm.
But hopefully you at home can weigh in and tell us what side of the coin you're on.
The thing about me is that my sleep schedule is always shifting all the time. Like, I never know what's gonna happen. This is my sleep schedule now. I don't know that if next week I'm gonna start waking up early again. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, it's rapidly shifting. What typically happens is it gets to one point and then it'll get to this point and it'll get there by slowly making it to that point. So I may go from waking up early to waking up slightly earlier or sleeping earlier. So I never know what's going to happen. So like the answer for me is yes, I am a night owl, but sometimes I will unintentionally become an early bird for a short period of time. Like
Yeah.
I remember in my community for Christmas, for example, I always have a Christmas countdown, and I just so happen to have the sleep schedule of waking up really early. But before and after that, I was staying up really late. Like I never know. It's like I guess I'm in between, but like I feel like I am more of a night owl because at night my brain is the most awake, whether I'm waking up early or not. For whatever reason, I feel like I get the most done at like 2 in the morning. I can't really explain it, but my brain is just awake. And the moments that you could actually like get these things done, like during the day, like I'm just sleepy during the day. It doesn't matter what my sleep schedule is. Like yes, it makes sense if I'm a night owl, but what if I'm not a night owl at a certain time of the day? Well, during the day I'm just still sleepy.
Feels me, I'm like all the time. I'm like, when's nap time? When's nap time? There is no nap time.
I had nap time a lot more in high school than now.
I believe it. Yeah. I don't remember. Like, is it weird? Like, I remember, but like I don't recall ever napping after school in high school. I'd go online and play games with my friends, or we would hang out somewhere, which is weird to think is almost a foreign concept for this younger generation. Like my son, like he doesn't go hang out at his friends' houses. He'll be like, "Oh, we made plans to hang out online." And it's wild. It's a little sad for me growing up in a generation that's used to physically being with people,
Mhm.
to see the generations not have, I guess, that kind of bond. Like they only see each other at school. My fear is like, okay, when he's out of middle school, when he's out of high school, what does that look like for him? Not to get super deep over a question of the day. um, but I mean, those are world concerns.
Mhm.
Well, Dill, I know we said we're both night owls, but it is getting a little late, even for this night owl. um,
Yeah.
so I think we should probably start to kind of wind things down here for nighttime. But before we go, I think um, we kind of wanted to set an invitation out here.
That's right. So for the next episode, we will be having a guest appear on the podcast. However, in the future, we'd like to have even more. And in both of our Discords, we're going to be sending out a Google form for anyone that would like to be a part of it. It's not going to be like a super long one or anything, just a few. But both of our Discord servers will be linked below if you would like to join it. Or if you're already community members from either side, we would love to have you.
Absolutely, I second that. So fill out the form, guys, because you know we love you, and we'd love to see
Absolutely.
what you bring to the table. We'd love to give you an opportunity to kind of have a spotlight on you in a sense, but also for you to ask any questions from either one of us that you might have, something that you might know our viewers are interested about and just no one's asked. So it would be a great new perspective, a great new experience, something a little fresh in the Kittencast.
Definitely. And in addition to our Discord servers, you can also check us out live on Twitch. You can check me out at twitch.tv/a_delight, and you can check out MeowingKitty at twitch.tv/meowingkitty. Also, in addition, I also stream on multiple platforms now. You can catch me on both Twitch and YouTube. So definitely check me out there. And of course, all of our links will be in the description below.
We super appreciate you for tuning in. Much love to you all. And as always, you matter.
Always remember that you matter and you are amazing. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night, and thank you so much for watching.